Hello folks, welcome back. This is Pxy-VERSE, and today is Sunday night here, or actually more than Sunday. We are gonna continue this character making. Today will be short, I won't be doing this too long. So here let's adjust this to texture. I'm gonna change the texture of course, but I'm gonna reuse some of this. Probably can reuse the skin texture for this character, so it's not the priority now, but I need probably this texture in order to see the grease pencil. No, we can see the grease pencil even with, it's just don't get its. Okay, this can work also. So here what we're gonna do is, keep adjusting the body. Maybe we can improve some stuff, and also I think we can hide this sketch. Keep improving the geometry of the body here and there. And on the grease pencil it needs to be on the mesh, so I don't want to have this selectable, I want the mesh object. There we go. With proportional editing we're just gonna try to find good positionings for these vertices. Here there's a lot of things. Yeah, you see, if we make a line here, this hand there is too high, so probably this it was slightly rotated, like here, right? So when I drew, so it just have this inclination upwards and inadequate, and this is the length also inadequate, so I'm not gonna bother with that, but I'm just gonna try to make some small adjustments here and there, which would seem likely. Yes, then the fingers is another problem. If I ever want to retake them, this will be later. In principle, I wouldn't touch them; they're already good enough. Here we probably would like to expand this GX. So nothing too complicated here, just trying to get better geometry here. This topology doesn't seem very good for multiple reasons. It might work, but it's very weird to work with this. Will that work? Well, we still have to count with the subdivision surface modifier. Let's see. Okay, something is not working here. Level 1, so I have the render tab. Is that simplify? No, we don't have simplify. I also need to actually, yes, 0. That's it. So when I turn this on and off, Yeah, so it was turned on. This is off, and this is with the subdivision surface modifier. So see, it's not very good, so we have to make further adjustments here if I am to maintain this this topology here, or this geometry. Yeah, this topology. These mesh don't seem very well distributed, so here this doesn't look also very good what you have here. That will be a little problematic here. Yeah, so you see the pattern, this thing. The problem is that we cannot have a face loop around this, but the shape seems to be working, except for the bottom here, which I would have to investigate, maybe a different loop, or like usually that we'd need an extra thing here to do something, but I think I can, because she has more volume here, more mass in her boobs, so this character is bustier. So I just try to maintain here this good alignment here. So see these lines here, they could be more aligned here. We can just smooth out everything later on. Here from the front view we probably could develop these sides. And from the back view, if we take off the wrist pencil, we don't have good shapes here. Probably have to yeah, so I'm not seeing exactly what I'm doing, but I'm organizing the geometry, this for sure, from that angle. So that might be good enough. Okay, then the rest will be for more details. So there are some problems with the hips and the waist. We're gonna keep improving. Here in my models I have been having an issue with the belly, where these mesh here, these faces, this part is too much protruded. There is a dipping too high here. It's like, of course there's a curvature, right? But in my card there's something, especially when they move. So possibly what I'll have to improve, maybe make some extra. Some riggers talked about maybe some lateral helper bones for the torso. So maybe that could help. But this is not for now, so I'm just gonna try to get a good rest position here. Here I think we have already decided which would be the height, so something about there, so I'm not gonna touch that too much. So here it will just be we can smooth out many of this. That probably would help. Side view, let's see what we can improve here. We see here that there's, according to the drawing, this should be, and you know, I'm using just this, not this one. So I'm really seeing the original positionings. No, it's not like that. Yes, I'm looking at the original positions, but we don't see their vertices, but we see where their joints, where they join. So this is probably, wait, actually this is the real position, sorry, and this is where we see the final result, while here we don't see the final, we just see the final result, modified result, which can be very confusing sometimes, not indicated for certain workflows we can use, but it's bad in this case if I start to have vertices crossing one with each other. That will be very bad. So we want to maintain the flow of the mesh, of the edge loops of the, so that's why we need to be looking, for example, here. I'm gonna save. Okay, so for example here maybe I can better redistribute the flow of this geometry if we see the real stuff, right? Otherwise, if we don't care about that, or if we intend to fix that later, it's okay to use this. Sometimes it's better because it's more convenient because you see the final result. But for rigging it can be very dangerous. We need to make a revision usually if we use that. So here apparently we have enough good shapes here from, actually maybe just, yeah, I'm not sure here, so I'm just going to make her torso a little larger. Yeah, then here also the buttocks, the gluteus, and there that seems to be can see here that this thigh is much larger here, or I'm confusing with the clothing, well, but there's almost on the same level, so skin tight almost. Okay, so I want to smooth some of this. Here you see that the knee seems to be on a not very well positioned here, so we're gonna re-centralize this a little. That is according to the character, the model sheet, right? Maybe the model sheet might have some imperfections there. I mean, meaningful imperfections in the sense that would cause some real issue in rigging. But I think the rest position here is good enough. It's not like the sheen is getting like distorted here in any critical way, so this is the back of the shin, the calf, and so here we're just gonna try to align this. You can smooth, and let's see for the side here. Yeah, good improvements we were able to do here. Then okay, so this part is very important. We see that the feet are not really matching the... So I'm gonna scale up the feet a little more. Scale in all directions, right? And then I'm gonna try to match as better as we can with some margin. Move this ankle up. Let's also smooth this, and I think this is the joint region, so we want to smooth this out. Okay, more loops around here is more important, and this is just for the shape, for better redistribution. Okay, that looks good. Then I think that's sufficient. These little details we could readdress anytime in the future. It's not super important right now. Comparing feet meshes, but okay. Now for the front, this is important. We need to find the... You see, there's a proposition of these ankles, and they seem very wrong. So for some reason I'm gonna push this up. Both sides, right? So this seems to be... We have to reorganize this mesh. Okay, now this seems to be matching properly. And now of these one are very distorted. GG. We're gonna GG this one. Let's see from the back if there's not any aberration. We could improve this part here anatomic wise, but something like that, yeah. And then just want to alright, here good, so nothing else remains except for the head now. So I'm reusing the meshes of the characters because they are all girls and they all have the similar drawing, the same style. They are not that different, right? So we can reuse the body mesh and some parts of the head topology. So now, right now I'm gonna make an isolation. So I probably have some vertex groups which, yeah, these vertex groups might be good to maintain, but what matters for us is just gonna reuse this one. It's just a managerial one. We'll use this to isolate the head. And if there are some shape keys, probably we will have to, yeah, I'm gonna delete these shape keys because they were causing problems. They were already broken. We can remake them later. Now we are ready for addressing the facial features of this character and see how good we can get her. Now, looks like her neck is super thin. Or, yes, her neck seems to be super thin, so we're gonna, little mistake here, so we're gonna do this with, well, without proportional editing. Let's use proportional editing. It might still be bad, yeah, it sounds still bad from certain angles, so I'm gonna do this again because it will extrude from both sides. It will regulate fast enough, so that should be sufficient. Alright, gonna save, and now we need the, yeah, I'm gonna hide some things that we don't need right now in terms of the grease pencil. Okay, so I don't need the top fix, I don't need top front, hair front, okay. So I don't need these ones for now, we don't need the hair. We don't need the costume, although the costume front, wouldn't the costume front have yeah, this for some reason. Okay, here I can see through. All right. So this will be important. So we want the costume front, at least for the beginning. It's an important reference. Wait, where is the... okay, here. Hair side, we don't need. Not for now. Costume side, that will be beneficial, yes. We can already model this, maybe, just to keep it there like a... Then, yes, front body. We want the front body. We see already we've got some imperfections here on the top of the head. This line here. We can exactly place this vertex there, but don't need that. It's too easy to move the vertices, so it's annoying. We cannot lock vertex position except by hiding them, right? But we can lock rest positions of bones. Shift W on edit mode. It's some sort of lock. Hold on, folks. Be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Had to turn off the fire. Alright, so here, yeah, those things, we already adjusted this, so this is not very important right now. Just trying to get good positions, right? Then now for the eyes, yeah, okay, there's also lot of job to do with the muzzle or the lower face, the nose. All this will be problematic. So we can. I don't think I can solve this immediately. So just trying to reorganize this. The topology of the lower face probably, yeah, we probably can maintain everything because I believe it's good topology for the so here I'm using a mouse and the scroll wheel to fix this. So here we're gonna probably just smoothing this. We might lose some stuff. The important fundamental thing here is the following. This I would need the top model sheet, but essentially you can see already what's going on. This is the forehead, and it shouldn't be sharp like this. It needs to be much more rounded. So all this is incorrect. So I need to fix this and adjust this. From the top view it's easier, it's very clear. So this is the forehead, and depending on the character design, maybe the forehead is like flatter here or rounded. For my characters there's a tendency to have this in diagonal, if at least, yeah, incorrect handling of model sheet with a front and side view will have in some characters the tendency to have this like a straight line here or very deepened curve regarding when it goes front to back. So this is bad. We don't want, it doesn't work for this character design. And I guess it doesn't work for a lot of character design. We want something more like this as I'm placing here. So this is one thing that a top model sheet helps precisely to get the forehead curvature from the top view. And so I've been fixing this retroactively by seeing what works in the 3D and then redrawing and then making the grease pencil for this. Right now, if I check the grease pencil for that, I already had a proposition, right? But it was because it's a new character, some things might not be matching perfectly. Let's see here. So it's like in the top body, it should be here. Yeah, you see that this curvature. So you see, I'm not following that reference yet. So, but you see, it's not too. We're not too far from it. So this is, of course, I'm able to catch this idea now because I've done this over and over again. So this is very important for the structure of the eye hole, right? So I need to pay attention to that in certain character designs. Alright, and then the front also we can check here. Yes, so this curvature should also try to follow, right? I was using proportional editing, so it should probably follow. But might have been some wrong aspects of it, so some things to correct. Then we need to check this curvature. So for this character, apparently the forehead here might be a little more to the front. So this, of course, all this will force us to make some changes here and adjustments, right? And we can always smooth, right? So anyways, let's check here. This face seems a bit too big. So if we can also see, oh, this face is too high here, too big. So just push this forward, right? We don't see the curvature but this probably would also help handling this kind of problem, right? And so you're gonna get some spreading web right from the center. Alright, then you see that's still not good, so we're gonna keep moving this. So here, this particular one, maybe you can approximate them, same as this one, but not as much. Alright, as for the nose here, the nose bridge and all this part here, which is a very structured part of the skull, so don't want to deform this on expressions, not too much, so it's usually quite static. This deforms more depending on the expressions or the character design, what we want for the expressions for rigging. It can be very tricky here, so we don't have enough geometry here. We are limited to the kind of expression we do here, like frowning, I think the name of the expression. The character gets angry. We can manipulate the eyebrows and get what this simplified mesh doesn't, right? Totally. But it's also good to have more mesh here to do something. This mesh is just not good enough for this, so maybe this is for the future. Apparently I've got a mistake here. Shift H, no, H. Alright, so we almost got this one. Here you see that a lot of things seems to be weird on the back of the skull, so maybe I'm gonna trust the model sheet, because these model sheets I've been doing precisely. I think I know what's happening is that the subdivision surface modifier got me confused, and probably I've lost the positionings. Or maybe it is from the other character where I've already made these fixes on the mesh from what I've seen in the model sheet. Yeah, so this could be a non-revised step, so that could be annoying. But little detail, right? We don't see the back of the skull of these characters usually, unless they are bald or... Currently I don't have a bald character. Okay, so and here probably we should get this stickier to the bottom, yeah. We're gonna try to get these things aligned, but in principle... Yeah, so here we shouldn't take... Here we... Each little detail that is badly done here costs a lot for rigging, so you need to be very accurate on these parts. And the mouth, maybe I'm gonna have to do some extra work here, but this will be for later. Right now the muzzle is priority. Also something that we haven't seen is that, okay, the muzzle, as for the muzzle, it also needs to have a similar curvature than that of the forehead. So it's nearly a follow-up, right? But depending on the character design, right? Because they have this cheekbone very salient, like it is here. You see the vertex with crease, vertex crease there. So this is the tip of the cheekbone to the outside, right? And so here I might probably want to have a curvature that's more or less following this one. And here we need to be careful about the same thing as the center, so you want a curved, so it starts flat here, facing forward, and then we start to gradually get this curvature. So if we don't do this, then again we'll have that terrible shape that will make the character look like very bad on certain angles. Here, for most angles she looks good. Probably we could improve some things here. This top view, I think it's incorrect. I'm not sure why. It looks like there's deepening too. She's lacking mass here, so probably need to... We moved it to the front, right? But we didn't move this cheek, upper cheek to the upward, right? So she didn't have enough volume here, so now we can sort of adjust this moving up. This won't interfere too much with the other positionings. So check here, so this hasn't changed too much. We can check with some... Difficult to check with the grease pencil, all this mess stuff. But it looks like we have yeah, adequate faces here. And the subdivision surface modifier will do the rest. So you see, we are getting more or less okay shapes here. Here the curvature, specifically on this layer of the top of the geometry, are not good, right? So you need to adapt this. Maybe I'm doing too much here, so I'm gonna reduce this. It's very located. And apparently we are having difficulty moving only these vertices. So we're gonna... This for the mouth will be revisiting with much more attention later. This is the big picture right now. So probably we just wanted to follow the flow. So it's not so easy because we have this topology here, these face loops, which are for the inverse sonic mouth setup. So they are not so easy to handle like if by layering like this I was trying to visualize. But by smoothing we can get some improvements as well. So the size of the mouth for this character, this is about the same that I had before. So it's very important that we see that these faces here are difficult to organize, in my experience. it's near the lips corner, but if after tweaking many things will work, but we need to be careful, need to try to get them align along the curvature, right? In the worst case scenario, we could make a, well, we need this good one first. We can use the proxy mesh to shrink wrap this. So this is for modeling, right? Because this is the first face version of this one, I don't have a muzzle ghost or even a muzzle proxy or duplicate, right? So I don't have the perfect shape. So if we find to get something ideal enough, we can make a backup of it, just a proxy mesh, duplicate, separate mesh, right? And then we use this to apply shrink wrap modifiers every time we are editing this mesh. So we edit the positionings, and then we keep, instead it can be snapping too, but the shrink wrap is more straightforward, right? Active, by being active on edit mode, I think it will keep shrink wrap, and then in the end you just apply it, and so you snap everything automatically. This is not the same as the universal sonic mount setup, right? It's just a way to fix those, to help handling these geometries, which are very complex, right? These shapes need to be very precise, otherwise the cartoony expression don't look good, the character design. Very easy to break the character design on these characters, so it's not a little change here will fuck up everything. So okay, now we need to address the eyes, and for this there's something maybe about the ears here. Yes, let's fix this immediately. So we can probably pick these vertices. Let's just try to get this new positioning here for the ear from the side view. It's unlikely it will be sufficient, but it will get this a good improvement. Alright, this seems okay, but we can probably make some changes here. Slight adjustments. That seemed better because these ears seem to have been slightly suffered some distortions, too many. We're gonna move this, but reducing the scope of influence of the... Alright, so now I think only thing that yeah, I know these points here, we can do this forever, but that should be sufficient for now. This here on the side, I think we're gonna grow it a little more, so near the tempora, right? So you have space here for the eye. Looks like there's a bit confusion here, but I believe we want to push this more, pull this more to the side right here. And so there's more space also for the ear to... Okay, something like this, probably. Alright, now for hard part. So mesh topology. Now we're gonna have to adjust these eyes. So should I change this thing? It will depend. So I need to check the okay, so you see that this is very different, or maybe I've changed so much things here. So essentially I don't know how I get the good stuff here for maybe by doing this as a wire and this as a wire. And yeah, so this can help. So basically there's a chance that maybe I feels like the eye there is too protruded, so my design might be incorrect. It looks too close, but here it just looks too far away. So I'm gonna just push it to a position where it seems correct. And also this character has much smaller eyes in comparison to Dorothy, so I'm gonna try to get this shape here, and we're gonna see if this curvature looks good enough. I'm not using perfectly mathematical curves here. I'm just using with NURB surface. I used to do that, but here found out that this is very safe, right? Using these tools is very good, so we can have very good results of eye surface curvatures by just doing this stuff, right? Of course you need to have good eye for this, right? But otherwise it's very feasible. There's not any trouble. It's very easy to get this thing very smooth and accurate with the shape that we want. So it's very easy to edit, while the NURB surface is a mess. Like it's too complicated. Then you want probably to convert it to mesh. Yeah, so it just takes you need the NURBS points, they are complicated. This is much more simple to work with. So here we want to, we want that the eye has some sort of range for expressions. So you don't want, when you start to deepen in backwards, you don't want to be like, even if the eye won't open more than here, you see the eye is here, the eyelid, bottom eyelid, even though it won't go here, maybe the one bone that is shrink wrapped will, so we can reuse the shrink wrapping of this for multiple purposes. So you want to have this little one. Another problem with this that I'm not totally sure yet how to solve, but probably there's a simple solution, is that sometimes this may appear from the mouth interior, right? If we look inside the mouth, so this is annoying. We can probably do something with shading for that, maybe a black light, I don't know. I don't really care about this, but it's good to be aware of this problem, because I'm not using mouth bags or mouth interiors stuff, which cause really, not only me that says, but some other riggers would say that it is very bad for especially when we are handling cartoony expressions, because the range of motion of the muzzle of the mouth are huge. So these mouth bags, they are very hard to not destroy to not cause clipping and stuff like that. Alright, so this starting from the eyes is a good proposition maybe. Here, the top one, I think I can do more with this. There's barely enough space here, so gonna just move this up. Yeah, I'm gonna do very exaggerated stuff here so that we can maintain this the curvature there for any bone that might go up. Alright, then we gonna smooth this again, maybe just a little more, that's totally fine. Smooth again, let's see how this is looking from, oops. Okay, now, what's happening? Okay, there is the, oh yeah, because my mesh there is all wired. Alright, so, strangely, this don't seem to be, okay, its origin is fine, or, no, it's fine, so you see this all here, and all this as a backup. Well, suddenly it doesn't seem very well from the bottom, so I'm gonna do here a little more. Now I think that should work, but we need to be careful now to not, to see if there's any intersections. Yeah, we might have a lot of, so probably still might have to shape this, right? In many ways like this. So this part can go in, like inwards, it's not too problematic. And here this doesn't matter. Yeah, this needs to go. Yeah, this is important. Oh, but this eye is still not good, right? This is not the real eye of this character, right? But I say that we could benefit from doing this. Sometimes if this is an eyeball, right, some sort of close mesh instead of just a surface, it might be easier to prevent some problems. I'm a bit concerned about this deepening here. So I probably want to do some extra work here, but that's fine. Probably what will happen is that this character has a we're gonna check now. Yeah, we're gonna check her so here for the eyes we're gonna lock this stuff. The model sheet is already locked, so I'm gonna change this to wire as well. And so here we're gonna address the positionings of this mesh, and this will be a bit tricky because I need the grease pencil to be on front. Let's try something here. Right, I can reset at any time. Okay, so I'm gonna get, yeah, probably here we're gonna want textured. Alright, so I think we can work with that. So what I want to do is to maybe you can keep the same topology, but we're gonna make devastating change to this. Yeah, you see how her eyes are like here, but this is Dorothy's eye, so it is like all this, so this is not good. So we start to snap this, how to start this? So possibly I will start deleting this face here. They are just very annoying. We could also delete the but they have textures. Yeah, there are a lot of mesh data there. So let's keep that, and let's see. We can probably move out this all together. Yeah, so I'm gonna do something like this. This time we're gonna isolate this mesh. Yeah, just this mesh, and we're gonna start working on snapping. So snap face project, include non-edited. I hope this won't shrink wrap to the grease pencil, and that's it, closest. So now by picking just these meshes, no, not the last one. No, let's re-isolate here. All right. So let's also, why not? Let's hide this, or no. Let's just not select that. We're gonna, yeah, we're gonna expand. So this is eyelids and eyelids borders mesh. So take this off. We're gonna snap this, hold Control, and so now these vertices are all snapping. Let's enable this to the, I hope, the eye surface. Yeah, there. Here I have a very messed stuff, but that's fine. Yeah, let's hide this. We'll handle that later. So this is just eyelids. We're gonna start repositioning everything on. Let's see. Okay, so it starts to work. It's not snapping to the grease pencil in front. That will be very frustrating. It should, but okay. Here I made a mistake. This is eyelids. This shouldn't be snapping, so I'm just gonna move it more here. So I removed the snapping feature, the snapping option. We need to investigate here. Oh yes, so her eyes are much lower. This is weird. But okay, so maybe we need to do that. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna make that, but that's fine. We pick all this GG. Gonna try to, for some reason I think, turn off the subdivision surface, right? Yeah, it was the subdivision surface causing lag. So GG. After we'll reorganize this upper cheek mesh. For now, all we want is to make space for the eyes. It might be that the upper cheek, depending on the character design, overlaps the eye, so we don't see the low bottom eyelid crease. We might not see because the cheek is right. It's covering it slightly. Depends on the character design. It can be an expression. I don't think it will be the case here, but it will be possibly very close. It might be a mistake that I've made the characters of these eyes very low. So I'm gonna, yeah, turn this on, the snapping. So we're gonna do this again. How many? Yes, so this is the limit. How many face loops do I need to get this thing right? So this is a good question. Possibly because of this character design, there will be a subdivision surface, so maybe we can trust, yeah, possibly we can trust this only these vertices here, but you have to push this inwards. It looks a bit strange, so maybe I've also made the eyes too close to the center in the drawing. So here it's unclear how I'm gonna solve her eyelashes, but what is happening here? Okay, I have some stacking. What are all those things? No, they just overlapped it. Some weird things. This mesh. Are these eyelashes? Oh, these are eyelashes. They are. That's why they are looking like that. I totally forgot about the eyelashes, so they have a different material, I suppose. No, they are part of there, but they have a different material. That's why they look like. Wait, they have this crease. So this we're gonna. I'm not gonna delete, but we're gonna have to hide them as well. It will be much simpler. Yeah, I'm stacking a lot of data here, of stuff here, which will maybe I should delete and redo this. Her eyelashes are different, so the topology will be different. We can UV map that later. Yeah, so we're gonna do this for all these complicated meshes here, because they are just gonna be a pain to re-edit, right? So I need to find. Okay, I think this is it. There we go. So this is now I'm just handling eyelids. Okay, so here we want the rest position for these eyelids. We see that this character design, the eyelids are much simpler. There are apparently too much subdivisions even, but these subdivisions, they come from the head anyways. We'll see, maybe we can simplify here. So here we're gonna, I'm still snapping, so I'm just picking vertices from the, yeah, but here we might have some trouble. Yeah, let's pick this, isolate, right? So we're gonna continue doing that. So probably I can do this, smooth, grab and click, so this will snap everything there already. It's important to know where is the center and try to get a, yeah, so you see that this is the eyelid crease, top eyelid crease. So we're gonna try to match this here, the eye holes. This already positioned this this layering of the top eyelid, right? All right. Here we have this this line, so this is probably incorrect. Yeah, we need to a lot more here. So this we need to draw in 3D, right? This as I'm doing here, we need to see what would be the contour of the eye hole, right? maybe this is not the best model sheet for her eyes. It's really like diagonal like this, a bit like Dorothy, but much less sharper and shorter, right? Smaller. But let's say it's more like Disneyan, to put it simple. And here I think it is more like here, yeah, instead of this curvature there. So we're gonna keep what I'm doing. The eye hole, the eye has this, goes all the way, right? So we have substance to snap this stuff. Now for the bottom, yeah, the bottom, this is bottom eyelid. So now I have, yeah, I don't want to be snapping these ones. These are upper cheek. So this will be very messed up when I unhide. But I want to create the good conditions here for the eyelids are priority. Here, yeah. They are the real mapping, and as for the upper cheek and the orbicularis, yeah, they are part of the orbicularis oculis, so it needs to look good, but it's secondary. I just cannot solve this currently. I don't know how to solve the character design from the upper cheek, or I never really tried. It's very hard, but I can solve the character design from the eye drawing. Yeah, that, yes. Let's say that the eye, yeah, the eye needs to be more legitimate to the. Now with this we don't snap, otherwise it will go crazy. Just keep it. So it must be have training in this, right? Snap, not snap. So just hold control if you don't want to snap. So here I have a lot of vertices to reposition. This is bad. So this is the eyelid, the eye contour, right? This is the eye contour indeed. Where the eyelid inner borders, right? And then I will extrude all these inner eyelids, inner borders, and gonna extrude them back and recreate that mesh that goes behind, which is I call eyelids borders, but they are actually eyelids walls. It's a trick to prevent not clipping. Actually they clip inward, so we don't, they fake so they go inside the eye, so it's just like clipping on purpose, right? That exists, that works on 3D on certain case. And this is very weird, right? I remember when I started 3D, I was horrified with these strange techniques that why you have to get things clipping. So here this part is these details I'm not gonna bother too much, so just want the position. And so the idea is that we have a gradual thing like here, but these ones are close to the wall, so they move very little, so I don't need too much of this. It's more about the upper and the bottom. It's a way to improve the collapsing of this geometry, of the eyelids geometry, from the skinning algorithm. It's not perfect, but it helps. It helps a little. But in the end, even if these eyelids clip into because they are shrink wrapped to the eye, we don't even see that. So here we can start this organization, and so we're gonna see these ones will be very close here. So they are very close to collapsing from the skinning. So here you see I'm not respecting totally the character design there. So I'm making this, the eye contour a little more rounded. Yeah, here we can work with this already. Here we see very bad things. We're gonna try to find what's happening to this. Yeah, this is more to the bottom. So here it starts to rise fast. What is this doing here? Okay, this they are very collapsed, the lower eyelids for this character, but we're gonna decollapse them. This I accidentally snapped this one. Yeah, we don't want to be snapping this. This we want. GG, that's fine. We can probably smooth this. We're gonna try to solve that later. Yeah, this mesh is very disorganized. Because we need to bring all this right. This was the setup for Dorothy. What we have here. So you see, good with a topology like this. It's very simple we can keep the topology and still have good adaptations. Here for the side, I think I will make, yeah, also this we're gonna bring also very close to collapsing all of this. And then this is the rest position for this eyelid should be something like that, right? Here we see that this is a bit incorrect, so we're gonna move this here. We probably want this to be aligned, I think. Yeah, this I'm not totally sure, but which orientation this should be facing. This one probably try to go there. So here we're gonna leave this very close because it's the sides they don't have too much transformation, they don't suffer too much, so just I'm gonna just make them hyper collapsed here. Even here we will do something like that, right? This one also needs a lot of, this is already different. Okay, this part already will suffer more deformed, so here we're gonna so here we're gonna make it different. Here we're gonna, okay, it starts collapsed. I cannot do GG here. I can, but then I need to grab and snap it manually. Okay, so you see I have a reference here for the bottom eyelid. So it's very small here in the rest position, but it has this kind of, it is there, right? It exists. So it's important for expressions. Now I'm gonna turn this off and let's smooth these ones. I'm not gonna smooth this face here because it will disrupt the snapped position. It's not super important, but it's good if those vertices are snapped by default, that onto the eye surface, right? That is that is already good stuff. Good starting rate. So here we see that we can bring this down, and then this also, and here we're gonna maintain the curvature, and so this one is very bad. This one is close to the sides, so the sides are very collapsed again, so we're gonna kind of maintain this very collapsed. Here you see that it's not even collapsed enough, so we're gonna collapse this even more, and that should do. Here we're gonna maintain this less collapsed, because here we already want Pxy-VERSE. Maybe this one we're gonna, yeah, for better this face looks too large, so we're gonna just make better faces there, right? Here probably we can better distribute this this geometry. They don't seem very well distributed. And so depending on how we do this, we can then change the this other mesh, and we can decide if we need more or less. So okay, now all the eyelids mesh seems to have been positioned properly. We're gonna bring this back, and we're gonna Shift H all this. We're gonna exclude the ears. We're gonna, looks like something is weird about the mesh, so we're gonna see if there's any face that is pointing the wrong direction. No, the normals are all nice, but maybe there's some artifacts. We're gonna vertex mesh normals reset vectors. Okay, that's not sure, this shading there looks weird, but maybe it's just a texture thing, because they have texture. It's just messed up after all these editings, right? Alright, so if I check here, we see that this already starts to make sense. From the side view, I'll have to reset the grease pencil. So Alt G. We may see that this also starts to make sense. Because the eye surface, I tried to follow this curvature but push it a little backward, right? It looks like that this is more or less accurate for the side views. What is not accurate is the orbicularis oculi, or the eye holes region. So we're gonna do this next. We're gonna expand this, and we're gonna, yeah, again, do this. Shift H, we're gonna select the ears, hide, and we're going to now possibly I can hide this, and I want now to let's just hide this one, the closest one. Now I need to hide this. Okay, gonna hide this edge ring there, and because now it is protected from even connected only, yes. So we're gonna pick a very low value here, and it's gonna start to, so at any point I can Alt H and Shift Z and Control Z, right? So I want to better distribute this according to the new setup. And here now we have the possibility to have these things organized more accordingly to this new character design. So possibly here you have to I could probably hide these two. So why this is showing? Okay, let's do this again. Okay, Shift H, right? So I need here, oh yes, because when I did that, no, okay, never mind. So we need to improve these shapes here and make space for this the eyes features, the eye holes. So this upper cheek is exaggerated, it's probably very wrong. We need to, this we're gonna move down, move closer there, right? This, where are the connections of this? Okay, it looks like that I have some face which is doing something very bizarre for this new setup here. Alright, I'm gonna turn off now this thing. I'm just gonna do this manually here. It should be simpler. So what we want is this starts to immediately have some, oh, this one was here. Okay, so we want GG, we want this to be wall stuff, right? So there's a depth, right? It's falling right there into the eye hole. So it's a deepening with a more substantial. Here it's a bit difficult for this part to do this, so we're gonna, yeah, we need some times to, so here we can do a lot of GG. You can pick all this and smooth out, GZ, we can do a lot of stuff here to get these things right. And here we want usually to have good alignments and also good distribution, so it can take a while to get all this set up. So here we see that this is not looking good, right, the organization, but we are apparently we are, yeah, it's gradually getting this stuff better. And here I'm not sure, there will be many ways to address this. We can use this eye holes edge loop to do a lot of improvement. We can shape the expression or the responsibility. They are very responsible for certain cool facial features, so we need to find a good disposition for this face loop here. But I cannot just move it anyhow, because this face loop, edge loop particularly, needs to be snapped out always. It's the lid crease top anatomic feature, so it's where the eyelid skin connects with the rest of the skin, and so it's collapsed right into there, right, and then it forms the crease, right. It's a very important concept for this kind of cartoony rigs. Okay, so here this mesh shouldn't be too close to the eye also, because in this rig the eyelids, they protrude, they shrink wrap on top of the eye hole. So here I might have to move all this thing downward as a whole, and so far I don't think I need to change the topology. So yeah, to make it space here, we're gonna have to push So this other, now we can smooth this, yeah, maybe this helps. So here, what should we do with this one? This seems to be a bit too far, right? So I'm gonna maintain this circular thing, but then we need to be aware of this this shape here. So right, we need to find a good organizations here, and yeah, this I think, yeah, here we're gonna get we can smooth this and this. This face loop is a bit crazy, so you see that it's connecting there. We can smooth that, but not the rest. Okay. This one is very important. We smooth there, but it loses a little of the, yeah, so very subtle. We don't want to be losing this or this position here. Here we can probably do this. The nose is, yeah, so now the nose bridge. So okay, so I think we've got the eyes for this character. Will be easier to see that, to check this with the subdivision surface modifier. Here. So here would be a good condition to be using this thing, right? Well, doesn't seem to be working properly the way I wanted. Okay, so I'm gonna try to manually position this, even though it's very hard. But if you get this thing, yeah, you see this curvature here? This is the upper cheek, is the cheek, right? The upper cheek, so this might be a good thing to take into account. So maybe this is too high. We are gonna try to follow Here is the jawline. This is the side of the I think. Yes, so this is the cheekbone. So where to position it, well, it depends. Maybe here we have to push this a little back. This is already under the chin. I should be looking from different angles, but it's okay. Something I'm fixing here probably. It was very disorganized. I think we are starting to get the the natural shape of this character. The chin maybe for her is too sharp, right? Yeah, so this will be a little complicated to fix. But essentially yeah, essentially it's just this dot here, so probably can maybe smooth this. Here you have some strange faces. Many shapes here could be investigated for better looking 3D cartoon as this, but in principle, if it's just smooth, for me it's enough. I don't know exactly how to adapt the anatomy here in 3D for my cards, because usually it's very simple. You have a cheekbone and mouth area, chin, muzzle, and yeah, and nose. So it's not some shapes that will be more realistic, they won't really appear, so I'm not trained skill for those things in the kind of drawing I do. Very inspired in anime more than cartoon, right? But cartoon is very interesting also. They explore some of these expressions sometimes better, and it's relevant in 3D usually to know some of these tricks. But because I'm using a very peculiar rig, the Universe Sonic mount, so flat here, flat I mean smooth curvature will be safer. So there is also this, so that the mouth can move in better ways. Alright, so now what I could do, I could link Dorothy here to address the materials, right? But essentially the materials, I mean, sorry, the certain stuff like the object modifiers, because I'm gonna use the same, they got deleted. So what I'm gonna do is, because of this, we're gonna bring here the asset library, and she's here, so we can this is a linked model, so it doesn't matter, right? We need to library override, just select it for now. I want to see the materials. I can't see, so we're gonna selected in content, right? Then we so this was append, and so it was modified. This is linked, so you can compare, for example, this, so I can, for example, reuse the same, let's say, copy selected modifier. So for example, yeah, let's copy the subdivision because there might be special adaptations there. Let's pick the shrink wrap eyelids, and that's it for now. So we're gonna say okay. So what we have, yeah, it is, we're gonna get this one particularly is before. I'm gonna change the target to so it has preset values here. Even a vertex group, this should be correct, I think, because well, I've deleted some mesh, it's true. So let's check the difference between these subdivisions. Probably something about the 1.1 optimal display, advanced. Alright folks, so this was enough for today. Today was, and I said that it will be short. Thanks for watching. We've got progress here, so essentially the facial features are, the main shape of the geometry is good enough, but needs still the eyebrows, the eye coins, they are here already, but we need to readapt according to model shape. Then the lips, we're gonna recopy it if we can, the anatomic lips. We're gonna make the eyelashes and the eyelids borders inside, and after this I think I can go for the cloth and the texture, and then the hair, yeah. And so this character will be, yeah, then we need to adapt the rig. She has no armature modifier, but she has the same vertex group, so she should deform well for now. But of course we would need to do better, much better. This will be a next stage, but that's, well, already well, how to say, it's on a good path. It's progressing relatively fast. Thanks for watching folks, take care, happy blendering, have a good week next week, and good luck in your projects. And again, thanks for watching. See ya folks.